Y'all, shalom, shalom. Gotta go move around. Alrighty, let me just bear with me right quick. I'm just setting that up. It's supposed to be what? All right. It's supposed to be. Come on, damn it! Come on now. My studio. What the fuck is going on with this phone now? Now it wants to do whatever it wants to do. God damn it, boy. I hate these crackers, man. They always fucking with somebody or something for some reason or another. Just got to. Here, let's fuck with him. Goddamn animals. Anyway. So like you. Yeah, I wrote that down. It's crazy. Yep. Praise the Lord then. Right? Alright, hold on. I gotta get one more thing. Alrighty. Shalom, y'all. Hey, I apologize. I had to get a couple of extra devices, you know, because I had to go preach by myself today. The brother didn't, you know, he wasn't, I guess, feeling too good or whatever, and so, you know, I got to do what I got to do. You know what I mean? Besides, I've been out here preaching by myself for a long period of time. Ain't nothing new. Anyway, to the east, Kal Halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Yahweh Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for pushing 100% truth to rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect that have been scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom. Back out here again, it's Mataza Lacham. You know, like I said before, the brother, he couldn't come out here to preach with me today, which is fine. You know, saying something about he had some family issues to deal with. So I know how that works. You know what I mean? The chick don't talking shit to you for nothing, to disrespect you. You know, I get it. I don't think I don't. But let's see. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 43. Verse 2, right? I'll start at verse 1. Isaiah chapter 43, verse 1. But how thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, that created thee, O Jacob, and he that formed thee, O Israel, fear not. The reason why we say that is because these Edomite Caucasians have actually signed an agreement called the National Defense Authorization Act, the NDAA. And what that does is it gives, by signing this act, it gives the Israeli Defense Force, those Israeli Amalekites, the imposters, control over America's military, over America's technology, flock cameras, surveillance cameras on every street corner, all of that shit. So this way they can try, basically at the end of the day, it's to put an end to the prophets that have been prophesized the downfall of America and those Amalekite Khazars over there calling themselves the JEWs and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. There's a clue in the Bible right there that they ain't God's people, because they're the only people that attend a goddamn synagogue on the planet. Everybody else attend a mosque or a church or a Buddhist temple, right? They're the only ones that attend a synagogue. So how the fuck can they be God's people? I mean, the Most High left so many clues that were so blatantly outright in your face that our people just don't get it. They go to church every Sunday, the vulnerable day of the sun set up by the Roman Catholic Church, right? And they come out crying, bitching, and complaining about different transactions in the spirit realm that change hands, simple fact that, you know, they're supposed to be Protestants. They're supposed to protest against what all these popes are doing. They're supposed to protest against what's going on in the fucking government, right? These evangelical Christian punk shits. But they don't do it. They sit up there and tell a lie to the entire world, saying that they're God's people, right? But they don't do nothing the Lord tells them to do. All these people that drive by here every week, okay, when they leave church, they go straight over to this goddamn cigarette shop over here behind me. Straight to that liquor store right there. Every week. Okay? And they don't do anything but what they want to do. Do as thou wilt. Get drunk, get high, do drugs. So what we try to do is we preach down the power of what upholds all these people in their wickedness. And by doing that, we're preaching it in the air. The Most High God in heaven, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shah, will do the rest. All we're doing is planting the seeds for destruction by preaching the downfall of this wicked king. That's all we can do. Can't do nothing else. But what I mean by fear not is because, like I said before, when these devils come up against us, you know, they're going to shut down this truth, stop us from preaching out here on the street corners, okay? Make it illegal for you to go to church, start shutting down your churches in the name of idolatry. These devils are going to set up the Noahide laws in America. It's going to be signed into law by President Agent Orange, right? The orange-colored godless bastard, Donald Trump, Donald Duck, Donald the Chump. He's the only one stupid enough to go against the Persian Empire that has never fallen. If the Persian Empire fell by the Grecians, it was from the inside out, more than likely. Okay? Like I said before, they just came in, Alexander the Great came in and whooped everybody's ass. Because at that time, it was all about death and destruction and bloodshed. These devils are all the same people. It's all about death, bloodshed, rape, murder, and theft. That's all they know how to do. They don't know how to do anything else. And that's how this country was established. How the fuck you gonna make something great that was established by bloodshed? You see? Isaiah chapter 43, verse 1. But how thus saith the Lord that created thee, O Jacob, and he that formed thee. Damn, come on, man. These devils. God damn. And he that formed thee, O Israel, fear not, for I have redeemed thee. I have called thee by thy name, thou art mine. Right? So that's another clue to who the true people are. The Most High chose a specific nationality of people to be his chosen on the face of the earth. And these Edomite devils can't stand that shit. They hate it. Verse 2, Isaiah 43, verse 2. When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. Now the waters and the rivers are the overflowing flood of these Edomite Caucasian devils. The United Nations Gurkha troops intermixed with the Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement, along with the state and local authorities, to kick your goddamn door in. That's what this NDAA deal that they signed, 2 days ago is going to do for you. You know, they're coming in there to find out exactly who's speaking against Israel, who's speaking against Palestine, who's speaking against what they're doing in the so-called Middle East, which is Western Asia. That's what they're out to do, man, by any means necessary. They're doing it deliberately and on purpose. Okay, those of you that call yourselves Christians, when they set up the Noahide laws, okay, it's going to be illegal for you to go to church. Okay, y'all need to understand that. And what we try to do is we try to preach to you and tell you the truth to your face. That the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah, the great God of heaven, that is his true name. Ain't no Allah, ain't no God and Jesus. Those are not the names of the Most High and his only begotten Son. They're not. Okay? The true name of the Most High Yahweh his name is Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah. I got a sign of it over there. As a matter of fact, I got a sign of it right here in front of me. You see? So when we tell you to fear not, the Most High got your back, but only the elect of the house of Israel are the people that he got their back. Okay, everybody else, they screwed. Okay, these devils gonna come and try to pick us up from work. It's time for us to lose our job, our income, as a means to do what we can by any means necessary. Right? Okay, these devils, to defeat our families. They finna take all of that from us. Okay, start putting people in FEMA camps, prisons, detention facilities, county jails, charging you with fault. You ain't busted a grape in a fruit fight in years, and they're gonna come up with some bullshit out of the clear blue sky just to prove you wrong, just so they have a reason to put you in jail. Like it says in Revelation chapter 2, verse 10, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer, for behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, where there you may be tried. And these trials and tribulations in these prisons, okay, about what you eating, if they decide to feed you at all. Because once you cast in these prisons, you no longer have rights. They're gonna do to you the same thing they did to the individuals at 911 under Barack Obama, okay, at Guantanamo Bay. They're gonna do the exact same thing to you that they did to them. Or worse. They've been dying to get their hands on the prophets. They've been dying to get their hands on righteous men telling the truth against their kingdom. These motherfuckers know that they're at the end of their entire rulership. They know it. It's over for them. They are not going to go any further from this. You know, individuals trying to go to college, you know, individuals that's trying to go to Vegas, trying to go all these different trips and shit. Knock yourself out. Because at the end of the day, anybody between the ages of 18 and 34 years old or 32, I think it's 20, they moved from 26 to 32. Okay, what they're going to do with them is put them in the military. It's called, under martial law, they can do that. Okay? They can do that. They can actually do that. It's called, what's they call it? A civil unrest, national emergency. Like I said before, under martial law, President Trump can enact the War Powers Act. And under the War Powers Act, he can enact the national draft. That's what I was looking for. Now, the national draft is going to draft any kid, men and women between the ages of 18 and 36 years old. They have went so far as to tell you a lie on mainstream media saying that they've only killed 18 people. All right? Now look, there's about 12 or 15 military bases, okay, in the so-called Middle Eastern area, Qatar, all of that. Okay? They got these military bases going on. Well, Iraq destroyed them all. In those military bases, you had men and women, soldiers. When they destroyed these military bases, do you honestly believe that there's nobody there? That's how America, like I said before, is Babylon the Great that sitteth upon many waters. What it means by sitting on oh wow, what the hell? That's crazy. No, you didn't see that. Guess I gotta go get another one of them. Damn, hold on, y'all. What the hell? Whatever, man. It just melted. My cord that I had to my battery charger, right? It just melted. Damn. Wow. It actually, wow. That's crazy. I didn't know it was that hot out here. It just melted off. See that shit? That's crazy, man. See that? It just melted. Wow. Anyway, like I said before, that's basically what's going on, man. And a lot of these people, a lot of these kids that are going to college right now, you know, they're going to get drafted from their college. They ain't going to get a chance to go back home. If they do, they're going home like one last time before the military come and snatch their ass up from their schools or whatever have you, put them on school buses and take them to a goddamn military training camp facility. So this way they can learn how to fight and kill people. Okay, so they can be drawn into the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is the valley of Yahweh's troops, or the valley of troops, the valley of Armageddon, or Armageddon. Okay, that's exactly where they're going to. All of the nations of the world are gathering in their place, as it is written in Joel chapter 3, verse 2. We try to tell the people that, they don't believe it. So all these police force, they're going to quit. Okay, when the Israeli defense forces, they're either going to quit or they're going to join the Israeli defense forces to kick in people's house. Kick your door in, rape your woman in front of you, cut your rod off, shoot you in the head, hang you from a fucking tree, light post. These people, these Edomite Caucasians have waited a long time to let their hair down and let the entire world know that they are the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of. They have been waiting a long time for this shit. All they, back in, what was it, 2017, 2018, they went and started buying a bunch of guns and bullets. You had, around the gun store, you had people lined up all the way around, all the way down the street, just to buy a gun. People that ain't never had a gun before got one now. Little kids know how to shoot now. That's crazy. Okay, all because mainstream media scared the shit out of people so much, right? Isaiah chapter 43, verse 2. When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee. And through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. Right? So only the people that know of whatever's going on, the only people over there, okay, are going to be those that the Most High has removed from America to get them away from us in order to fulfill this biblical prophecy I'm reading about. Okay, let me go over here to Joel chapter 2, verse 19. Listen to this. Yeah, the Lord will answer and say unto his people, behold, I will send to you corn and wine and oil, and yet you shall be satisfied therewith, and I will no more make you a reproach among the heathen. This is eventual salvation for the elect of the house of Israel. The true house of Israel are Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Damn near everybody knows it now. Ever since Vladimir Putin put them pictures out saying that the actual Israelites were dark-skinned men. King David was dark-skinned. Paul the Apostle was dark-skinned. Moses was dark-skinned. Joseph, the coat of many colors, was dark-skinned. Why were all of these different individuals mistaken for Egyptians? At that time, Egyptians are the Hamites, right? So the Hamites, right, are a dark-skinned race of people. Like it says in Solomon's Bible Dictionary, Ham is the progenitor of all the dark-skinned races, not the Negroes. So you see, there's two different races of dark-skinned people. You can't just mix them all together and say they're black. I don't hear you calling a motherfucking African from Somalia black. You call them Somalians. I don't hear you calling an individual from Ghana black. You call him from Ghana. Okay? The only people that you call black are Negroes. And Negroes is a mistransliteration of the word Hebrew. Okay? That's what people don't get. They don't study like the Bible instructs them to do to show themselves approved unto the Most High God. They ain't gonna do it. Fuck the Bible. They don't believe in the Most High at all. So the Most High, before the downfall of any kingdom, he sends forth his servants, the prophets. Like it says in Malachi chapter 3, verse 6, I am the Lord thy God, I change not. Therefore you sons of Jacob are not consumed. Okay? Let me finish reading this. Joel chapter 2, verse 20. But I will remove far off from you the northern army. Right? The army of the north is the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, right? Space Force. All of that shit. This is the Northern Army. But I will remove far off from you the Northern Army, and I will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face toward the east sea, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea. Right? So they're stuck trying to open up the Straits of Hormuz, the Straits of, what is it, I forgot the name of the, it's another strait that the Houthis and what you call them other devils, I forget the name of the other cats that the Houthis are fighting against, you know, but they're trying to cut that off. So this way there's no oil, there's no goods and services being imported or exported back into or out of America. Ain't none. You see? So the Most High Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is doing this deliberately and on purpose to you because you won't repent. You won't do what the Most High tells you to do, which is seek out of the book of the Lord and read. You don't want to read it. It's like you're scared of it or something. I don't get it. And his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up. The ill stink and savor are the stench of the dead bodies that they're destroying over there in the so-called Middle Eastern area. They're destroying it over there. They're destroying them kids. Between the ages of 18 and 26 are going to be drafted by November this year. Fuck it, it's too late. All that just got through graduating from high school. They think they got their whole life in front of them. Their life just ended. Okay, when they signed this NDAA Authorization Act. Okay, when they signed that act, that allows the Israeli Defense Force, the Israeli Mossad, ISIS, the Israeli Secret Intelligence Service, right, to take over the U.S. military. This is now called Jewmerica. Okay? It is no longer America. It's no longer a sovereign nation because the United States Congress and Senate, along with the president, sold the U.S. military forces and all of their weaponry to the Israelis. Bibi Makowski, right? All because Agent Orange is being blackmailed in the Epstein files. Jeffrey Epstein was in the Israeli Mossad. His fucking job was to get all kinds of dirt on all of these different state senators, governors, congressmen, presidents, vice presidents, right? Attorney General, all the justices of the United States Supreme Court, all that shit. He got all kind of dirt on film, on paper. Okay? He got something on everybody that's in the United States Senate, the House of Representatives, through the legislative, executive, and judicial branches of government. Okay? And it's all over the goddamn internet now. So these devils, they like doing things in the dark. Like it says in Isaiah 29 and let's get it. But yeah, the ill savor shall come up. So all these dead bodies, they're going to continue to send them home in a flag, in a box. Okay? They're just not going to televise it. Okay? Until they have you completely surrounded by armies. Okay? And the army they want you surrounded by are the IDF. Remember, they're naturally a bloodthirsty and murderous people. They're bloodshedders. And the blood that they're going to shed are these Edomite Caucasians first, because they got all the guns. But they want to come against us because they know who we are. They got to get rid of us, right? So they can continue to push that bullshit narrative of and push the anti-S word, anti-Sim word, right? So that way they can continue to push that punk shit, right? That word anti-SEM, right? I-T-I-C, okay, or Semitic, whatever, was created in 1860 by a man by the name of Mort Steinschneider, right? That's who he is. That's who created that word in 1860. Between 1859 and 1860, they created a group of men and put them together, called themselves the Biblical Destruction Group. And they took the Apocrypha, the hidden books of the Holy Scriptures, out of the Bible in order to hide who they are and who we are. So this way they could cover us up with a fallacy. Like it says in Isaiah 25 and 7. Let's get it. I'm going too fast. Isaiah 25, verse 7, right? And he will destroy in this mountain, meaning in this government, the face of the covering cast over all people and the veil that is spread over all nations. That's what the Most High has done. He's lifted the skirt of the wickedness these devils have been hiding under the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty, right? Libertas, meaning rebellion. Rebellion against what? Against everything that's righteous. Okay? Liberty, the Statue of Liberty is actually a man dressed like a woman. Okay? A lot of people don't know. Okay, these motherfucking Edomite Caucasians, you can do your research. They've already changed the history on it, even if you go back to see if I'm lying about it. You see? That's what they do. They're devils. Got so like Isaiah, yep. Isaiah 43 and 3. For I am the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, thy power, the Holy One of Israel, thy Savior. I gave Egypt for thy ransom, and Ethiopia and Seba for thee. Since thou wast precious in my sight, thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee. Therefore I have given men for thee and people for thy life. So what the Most High is doing there is 2/3 of our people that are going to be destroyed, he's going to give for a living sacrifice for the sins and iniquities of the elect that he chose from the foundation of the earth. These Edomite devils don't get it, right? They want you to go to church and believe you can be saved no matter what you do. Water break. Yep, because it is hot out here. That's how most I said, I'm free to help me out. Yeah, he did. So the cool breeze to help me out. Praise the Lord. Call Allah Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Right? Isaiah chapter 43, verse 2, again, when thou passest through the waters, right? Because we have to go through great tribulation, right? Like it says in Acts chapter 14, verse 22, concerning the souls of the disciples, exhorting them to continue in the faith. Therefore, it is that through much tribulation, great tribulation, that we enter into the kingdom of heaven. Right? So this great tribulation, everybody's going to go through it. Okay? A lot of these Christians believe that the great tribulation has already happened because of the transatlantic slave trade. That's not true. What's about to happen is the great tribulation. They're going to be putting you in jail, separate you from your family, separate you from your woman, from your kids, send your eldest kids off to be killed off in the fucking army or the Marine Corps, whatever, because they're going to do a ground invasion. They don't have a choice. Okay? I mean, look at it this way. What would you do if you were the Persians, the Caravanians? You know, Donald Trump done made promises to blow up bridges, right? Infrastructure that's important for the survival of the people. Only a devil would do that shit. You're supposed to be fighting army against the army. They're in violation of the Geneva Convention. You see? They're the devil the Bible speaks of. You're going to blow up bridges. You're going to blow up entire families while they're at home eating dinner. See? These motherfuckers are letting you know that they're the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of. You know that by the characteristics of a devil, by their actions. Remember, actions speak louder than words. You know, if you were the Caravanians, right, and you lived in the desert, surrounded by mountains, would you not invite an army, a foreign invader, into those mountains where your military is entrenched, and get that foreign military to use up all of their weapons? Once all of their weapons are used, would you not go down there and wipe them out? See? Because when they run out of bullets, they run out of bombs, their tanks are being exploded with drones that cost no more than a goddamn a $3,000 or $4,000 car, right? And America and all of their mighty military forces are destroying $10 and $15 million missiles. That's the reason why America's broke now. They've only been at war for a little over, what, 5.5, 6 months? Maybe 5 months? And America's broke twice over. See, so they're doing what anybody would do with any common sense. I seen a video on Fox News. One of the Fox News correspondents was asking the Israeli foreign minister, you know, about the Iranians in America destroying them. Aren't you afraid that America is going to invade you and take over your country? He said, no, we've been waiting for them. And then he had an evil smirk on his face. So they're doing everything. If they're following the Bible, the Valley of Jehoshaphat is exactly where these military forces are at. Okay? Between the utmost sea and the hindermost sea, which is the Red Sea and the Dead Sea. Okay? In that area. That whole area is the Valley of Jehoshaphat. The Valley of Armageddon. Right? All the nations of the world are going to send their militaries in there. Okay? Because half of them are there already. Fuck it. Donald Trump been trying to get the United EU to send their military forces over there. France to send their military forces over there. Right? When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee. And through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. right? So the Most High is going to be with his elect during this trying time of great tribulation, because we got to go through it to get to the other side. Okay? This is Esau Edom's last stand. This is like Custer's last stand, being surrounded by armies. Right? Everybody, all the nations of the world are going to turn their back on America. Let's get it. Because I need to keep reading. Isaiah 43:3, for I am the Lord thy power, the Holy One of Israel, thy Savior. I gave Egypt for a ransom, Ethiopia and Sheba for thee. Since thou wast present in my sight, thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee. Therefore I have given men for thee and people for thy life. Right? So he's going to remove off of America the Northern Army, send them over to the Valley of Jehoshaphat, and then bring in these United Nations Gurkha troops with the Israeli Defense Forces and the Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement Agency, right, and start kicking people's door in. Like I said before, the people they want to destroy are us, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Fear not, for I am with thee. I will bring thy seed from the east and gather thee from the west. Right? I will say to the north, give up, and to the south, keep not back. Bring my sons from far and my daughters from the end of the earth. So this is the ultimate salvation of the children of Israel. Like it says in the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 31, he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet to gather forth his elect from one end of heaven unto the other. Right? Saying the same thing in the book of Isaiah. You know, one in the Old Testament, one in the New Testament. Isaiah 43:7. Even everyone that is called by my name, for I have created him for my glory, I have formed him, yep, I have made him. Right? And the Most High sends forth his servants, the prophets, every time before the destruction of a kingdom. I got it on that sign over there about the statue of the dream of King Nebuchadnezzar. You see? And each one of them kingdoms fell. We're right now, we're at the toes mixed with iron and marble clay. That's where we're at. Isaiah chapter 43, verse 8. Bring forth the blind people that have eyes and the deaf that have ears. Let all the nations be gathered together, and let the people be assembled. Who among them can declare this and show us former things? Let them bring forth their witnesses, that they may be justified, or let them hear and say it is true. Right? So that's what they're going to try to do. Get us out of the way by bringing in the famine of the word. Okay? So this way you can't get the truth from out of the Holy Bible. They can tell you whatever they want to tell you, and if you don't believe it, they'll just put your ass in the FEMA camp along with everybody else. That's the plan of these fucking animals, man. They're devils. It's lucky. Yep, let's go get it. Matthew 24, verse 29. And immediately after the tribulation of those days, see, so the great tribulation is a fact. We got to go through it. Don't have a choice. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. Modern day heaven for these Edomites is America, where they can do whatever the fuck they want to do. So the powers of the heavens are the three evil spirits like frogs that come up out of the bottomless pit, which are Washington, D.C., a city-state, right? A city-state is a standalone country within the boundaries of the same country, right? They have their own laws, statutes, or whatever. The second city-state of the evil frogs that come up out of the bottomless pit, right, is London, England. Okay? And, you know, which controls the finance. So Washington, D.C. is the dragon. Okay? London, England controls all the money, the Bank of International Settlements, and the Federal Reserve. And then the third city-state is the Vatican, the false prophet. So you have the dragon, the beast, and the false prophet. So all the nations of the world are going to sign up with the beast against the dragon, that great whore, the whore of Babylon, which is America. They're going to sign up against America to destroy America from off the face of the earth. They're going to use all of their thermonuclear weapons against her, right? Because America has betrayed them. Donald Trump is all about money. He's all about trying to enrich himself and his family. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. Then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. Why do you think Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, Sam Altman, all these different individuals that make $93 million a fucking hour are building these deep underground military bunkers and basements? And then shall they see the sign of the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. That's what they're afraid of. That's the reason why they have all of these different bunkers that they're building, right? Underground cities to get away from the thermonuclear destruction. A lot of these millionaires people, okay, are moving out of America. They're getting on planes, just go buy an island, or go and buy a huge swath of land, having the Bilderberger Group go in and build them a deep underground bunker, right? So they can get away from the thermonuclear destruction that's America about to go through, right? Verse 31, and he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. See? So they're doing this deliberately and on purpose, man. They're going to destroy you, put your ass, take the military of America, send it over to the Valley of Jehoshaphat, right? Bring in these foreigners and foreign soldiers, because remember, under Joe Biden, he allowed foreign soldiers, military-aged men, back in 2020, 2021, okay, to come over the Mexican border. Okay? So these are sleeper cells here in America. Millions of them. They're all over the place in every major city. They're just waiting for a certain telephone call to create complete havoc. Hold on, let's get it. Second Ezra, chapter 6, verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. That's what these Edomites don't want. They want to hold on to their system of power and oppression over the people for as long as they can. They won't be able to do it because, like it says in Job, chapter 14, verse 5, let's get it. It's lucky. Job 14, verse 5, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. The number of the months of Esau Edom's kingdom and rulership are with the Most High. Only he knows and set the boundaries of these Edomite devils that they can go no further. Even Yahushua, his only begotten son, don't know. Because the prophets had already said that in the book of Acts chapter 1. Right? Let's get it. Acts chapter 1. Verse 4. And being assembled together with him, commanded them that they should not depart from Jerusalem, but wait for the promise of the Father, which saith ye have heard of me. For John truly baptized with water, but ye shall be baptized with the Holy Spirit not many days hence. Verse 6. When they therefore came together, they asked of him, right, the apostles asked Yahushua, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? See? So even the apostles was wondering, when are we going to get the kingdom? Because in the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 18 says, okay, that the saints shall take the kingdom. Right? So they asked Yahushua HaMashiach, what was up with that? Right? And he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father hath put in his own power. Right? But ye shall receive power after that the Holy Spirit is come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me and in Jerusalem. Right? And in all Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost part of the earth. We're in the uttermost part of the earth right now. Right? In the land of Azareth. Under King David and King Solomon's rulership, America was just a bank for them to get gold and silver. Nobody dwelled here. Okay? Then nobody dwelled here at all. But after the death of King Solomon, you had the children of Israel split up into two kingdoms. Right? Like it says here. It's lucky. Right? You had Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, which was the southern kingdom. And then you had Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar, right, of the northern kingdom. Those are the 10 tribes, right, that were scattered, right? The southern kingdom went under the captivity of King Nebuchadnezzar, under King Nebuchadnezzar. And the northern kingdom went under King Sennacherib, king of Assyria. Okay? And then we've been split up ever since. So, when, what's his name? I forgot. King Cyrus of Persia, right? which is Iran, let them go, they decided that they would leave that entire part of the world and come to a place where never mankind dwelt, right? They're what they're called the 12 tribes of Israel, split into two kingdoms, right? Like I said before, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, right? In 2nd Ezra, okay, the northern kingdom are the Latinos and the native Indians, right? And the southern kingdom is today called the Negroes, okay? In 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 40, it describes how the northern kingdom was captured out of Israel and carried into slavery into Assyria. They then made an agreement amongst themselves once they were freed by King Cyrus, king of Persia, that they would travel to a land where no man dwelt before, so this way they could come over here and practice to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. But they eventually started going off, worshiping Quetzalcoatl and worshiping air and worshiping trees and all kind of other shit. So the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua sent forth Esau Edom to destroy them for what they've done, right? So they entered into the Euphrates back then, and the Most High guided them to Azareth, today known as the Americas. North, South, and Central America. Canada, Alaska, right? So you see, like it says in Job chapter 14, and 5, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee, thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So these Edomite Caucasians have a boundary, a time, a month, a day, a year, that their kingdom is going to fall and be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction. They don't have a fucking choice. When they came against the children of Israel to destroy us, they should have sat in sackcloth and ashes for the last 500 years, but they didn't do that. They decided to get revenge for a birthright that was supposed to be Jacob's to start with. It tells you that in the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 10. Let's get it. Romans chapter 9, verse 10. And not only this, but when Rebekah had conceived one, even by our father Isaac, verse 11, and my point, for the children not yet being born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High God in heaven, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, according to election, might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. So you see, before Jacob or Esau were ever born, it was already decided who was going to rule and who was going to be the slave. It was already decided in the heavenly realm where the Most High dwells, by the Most High himself. But these bastards get mad at us saying that we stole their birthright, which is a lie. We stole nothing from them. Like it says in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16, lest any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. These Edomite Caucasians are so fucking thick and dense that they sold immortality and the kingdom of heaven for a pot roast. If you take deer meat, venison, right? Put lentils, which are vegetables, right? And you put that in an oven in 3 hours, right? What the fuck do you got? A deer meat pot roast. They sold immortality and the kingdom of heaven on earth and to rule the entire universe for eternity for a fucking pot roast. The Most High God is not going to give his kingdom into the hand of an imbecile. Okay? Romans chapter 9, verse 12. It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. Remember, Esau came out red all over like an hairy garment. Thus his name was called Esau. Right? And afterward, his brother came out. How come they didn't describe what his brother looked like? Because his brother looked like everybody else on the fucking planet. Okay? Everybody else on the planet with dark skin. See that? Esau was the only aberration on the planet. Nobody on earth looked like him. Just like it was with Cain. Esau is Cain in the reincarnation. Just like Cain murdered his brother, right? Esau seeks to kill us. And we're brothers out of the same mother. What the hell? It's like you. I don't know, y'all. I might have to make this one short. I might have to, man, because it's hot. I think the temperature today was supposed to be like 104, 105, something like that. It's lucky. And it was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. See? So the Most High has already decided who he loves and who he hates. And it got before they were ever born. Okay? So he's already decided who he's going to give the kingdom of heaven to. These peckerwoods is mad at us for nothing. They're wasting their fucking breath. But because we are the Most High's inheritance on the face of the earth, and his representatives, he gets back at the Most High in heaven through us by killing us and coming against us to destroy us. The Most High is going to make these devils pay for what they've done to us for 1,000 years. In actuality, they getting off light. The shit that we've been put through for the last 3,000 years, having all of these different nations rule over us with rigor, throwing us into the Colosseum to be torn apart by lions and shit. Come on now. The Most High, Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh, Shah, to destroy these animals, man. They ain't got no choice. They're fucked. Matthew 24, verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Okay. So that's what we're doing. Let's go over here, pit stop over here, Jeremiah. Come on. Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. And that's exactly what we're out here doing. We have made videos telling you about the hantavirus, goddamn that bullshit that they pushed back in 2020. All the people, they threaten people's jobs, saying that you can't work here no more if you don't go and take this and take that. You see? And we warn people about that shit. And then it come out later that it was a sham. It was a scam to see how many people that they can unalive. Now you got teenagers with heart problems, myocarditis, pericarditis. Them is heart problems, man. They supposed to have heart problems till in their 70s and 80s. Right? If they make it that far. You got teenagers falling down in the basketball court of a fucking heart attack. Come on, man. See? And we the prophets have warned you about these things, tell you about these things before they happen, and what you should do to avoid punishment by it. It's called have faith, something that you ain't got. So what we try to do is teach you how to have faith. Hebrews 11:1 states that faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. It's hope. Right? That's all you got at the end of the day. These goddamn Edomites are going to kick your door in at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, drag you out of your house in your goddamn underwear, and put you under summary execution. Ask you if you're a Christian. You say, yeah, they're going to kill you. These goddamn Edomites don't give a shit about you. And we coming out here to tell you to your face. You think I ain't trying to tell my family? They won't listen. I pray for their ass every day to make sure that they don't fall in, goddammit. Because they're going to fall in, I'm telling you. Because these devils is going to push that RFID microchip punk shit, man. And it breaks my heart that 2/3 of our people going to die along with our families. Everybody going to turn us in. Like it says in the book of Matthew chapter 10. Brothers, sisters, husbands, wives gonna turn each other in, man. Let's get it. Matthew. Matthew chapter 10, verse 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. And that's what we do, by instruction of the Holy Scriptures. Right? Esau says that the law is done away with. The Bible is an instruction manual for the Israelites as to what they should do in order to be saved and avoid being punished by the Son of God when he gets here. I didn't say if, I said when. These motherfuckers are running out of time. Everything is falling into place in the biblical prophecy as we speak. I'm going down a laundry list of all the biblical prophecies of what's happening in the world right now. Okay? By biblical prophecy. I'm going right to the Bible pictures, man. Look at all this proof I got out of here. Look at this one. You know, you got the mark of the beast. RFID chip. Okay? It says the mark of the beast is the RFID NFC chip. You cannot, I repeat, you cannot repent after having received it. So if you take it, you fucked yourself. Why would you do that? The RFID chip is the mark of the beast. The beast power is the beast system, where they want one world government, one world religion. They're going to use AI as your God. Once they push the Noahide laws here in America, they're going to destroy Christianity. okay, and Islam at the same time. That's what they're out to do. Let me show you. See this? The Third World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by the agents of the Illuminati between the political Zionists and the leaders of Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam, the Muslim Arabic world, and political Zionism, the state of Israel, mutually destroy each other. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economical exhaustion. We shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists, right? The LGBTQ, right? And the unbelievers, the nihilists, right? The Proud Boys, the national patriots, the Ku Klux Klan, right? And we shall provoke a formidable social cataclysm, which in all its horror will show clearly to the nations the effect of absolute atheism, origin of savagery, and of the most bloody turmoil. Then everywhere, the citizens obliged to defend themselves against the world minority of revolutionaries will exterminate those destroyers of civilization. And the multitude, disillusioned with Christianity, whose deistic spirits will from that moment be without compass or direction, anxious for an ideal, but without knowing what to render its adoration, will receive the true light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer, brought finally out in the public view. This manifestation will result from the general reactionary movement, which will follow the destruction of Christianity and atheism, both conquered and exterminated at the same time. 33rd degree Freemason Albert Pike, in a letter sent to Giuseppe Mazzini, August 15, 1871. That's how long these devils have been planning to kill you, goddammit, without mercy. Okay? A Freemason, 33rd degree Freemason, is telling you what the fuck they're gonna do. And that's what they're doing, man. They're in the process of it right now. And for some strange reason, you think we're lying to you. We come out here and we haphazard our life and our freedom to tell you these things to your face. We tell you the Son of the Most High God in heaven is a Negro from the tribe of Judah. You don't believe it because you was taught that the Son of God was a goddamn peckerwood with long flowing hair like a bitch. Paul the Apostle tells you that it is a shame for a man to have long hair. Long hair is a covering for the woman, not for the man. But you go to church every Sunday and worship a long-haired faggot peckerwood. It's pink, translucent skin, Edomite punk bitch. I don't get it. That's Cicero Borgia, the gay homosexual boyfriend to Leonardo da Vinci. That's the reason why he's such a pretty picture. Okay? Well, then why did they do it? What do you mean? It's to hide you from the fact that you are an Israelite and call you a Latino or Mexican, call you a nigger, or call you black. The social constructs of black and white were created by these very self-same devils in order to push supremacy and privilege on everybody else. And as far as white trash is concerned, the poor whites, they gave them an opportunity or platform to stand on, okay, because they look like the people that own all the land, that have all the gold. They look just like them. So they gave them white privilege and white supremacy to rule over the Negroes during the transatlantic slave trade and slavery. Because they didn't want the poor whites and the blacks and the Latinos, right, and the Native Indians to band together. Because if they do, we're going to band together and take their shit. Okay? So, they gave the Edomite, the poor white man,
the opportunity to feel like he's one up on the blacks and the Latinos and the Native Indians. They're not the same with white privilege and white supremacy. That's how they created white. It's a social construct that was created for one purpose, was to hide the fact of who the Israelites truly are and to cause division of all of the people within the land. So while they're fighting and killing each other, they don't see that the elites at the top are taking their land from them, taking their right to life, setting up unrighteous laws and decrees against them. They're too busy killing each other in the fucking street. They're too busy shooting the other individuals that need to be teamed up with them in the fucking back. Okay? I apologize about cussing so much, but I get passionate about this thing. And I keep trying to tell y'all, but you won't listen. It's like common sense is not common amongst my people. The Bible tells you, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High. Will you do it? Hell no. You too busy on TikTok, taking pictures, click, 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 sitting the goddamn phone over there and doing the TikTok dance. Stupid shit. You busy doing that instead of reading your Bible like you're supposed to. The only time you pick up the Bible is once a fucking week. And you call yourself a Christian? You're an idiot. And I bet you can't read. Matthew chapter 10, verse 17. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils and will scourge you in their synagogues. And you shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, take no thought of how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. I hope they televise the shit. So this way, the Holy Spirit will come and take over our body when they charge us with fault. And we can further expose their crimes against humanity to the entire world live on TV. Okay? That way everybody in the universe can see it. Okay? Because the Son of God told us don't worry about it. The Holy Spirit don't take over. Right? Matthew chapter 10, verse 18. And you shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, take no thought of how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the Holy Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. That's the reason why the Bible tells us to seek out of the book of the Lord and read. Read about the biblical prophecies. Study your history. Put two and two together. For the Bible's got to be read precept upon precept. Like it says in Isaiah chapter 28 verse 10. Let's get it. Then go back. Isaiah 28 and 10. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. That's how you read your Bible. You don't read it straight through like it's a pretty story book. You use precepts to put the storyline together. Okay? We have to come out of antiquity to teach you how to read your Bible. Most of you don't even know what a precept is. It's a clue. Remember, you're a sleuth, right? You down with Shaggy and Scooby and the Mystery Machine, right? And the rest of them other cats out there, Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys Mysteries. All them cats. Right? Macmillan and wife. Starsky and Hutch. All them old school TV shows about being private detectives. Right? Solving mysteries. Right? Like Scooby-Doo in the game. Right? If it wasn't for those bothersome prophets, we would have got away with it. Right? But the Most High Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua sent forth his servants the prophets every time before he destroys the kingdom to get his people out of the way. He does that every time, without fail, man. Isaiah 28, verse 11. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people. At the time that these words were written, we didn't speak English. We spoke Hebrew. So when he's talking about another tongue, he's talking about the English language. You okay? So we try to tell you what's going on. Don't nobody want to hear it. Looking at the Most High and sent a cool breeze down through here at 100 degrees out here. Wow. That lets you know that the Most High Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua must be dealing with me. Because normally I've been started packing up by now. I'm still out here, man. Yeah. I think what's today, 100, 102, 105, some shit. Don't bother me now. Just give me some water. I'm going to go preach anyway. Fuck it. Okay? The Most High's with me. I ain't worried about a thing. I move on faith. I work by faith, not by sight. Make sense to me? Now, going back here to Matthew, chapter 10, verse 21. And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. So when they signed, Congress signed the NDAA Act that allowed the Israeli Defense Forces to take over the U.S. military. Okay? So by removing the U.S. military out of America, they can replace the U.S. military and the police force with IDF soldiers, Israeli Defense Force soldiers. And we know what they are like. Look what they did to Gaza. Look what they're in the process of doing to southern Lebanon. Look what they do in the motherfucking Iran. Ain't nobody lifted a finger against these Peckerwoods. But what the first thing they do is they go kill, steal, and destroy. Like it says in John chapter 10, verse 10. The thief cometh not before to steal, kill, and to destroy. That's all these Edomites know how to do. They don't know how to be peaceable. Peace to an Edomite is to cut your throat, stab your ass in the back. That's peace to an Edomite. No competition. Okay? Instead of having a friendly competition of war, these motherfuckers violate the Geneva Convention. Right? They go in there and destroy personal infrastructure, houses, schools, hospitals. Just blow it up with people in it. There's people in a fucking hospital down the street. These goddamn crackers will blow it up. Boom! Kill everybody in there. Fuck it. That's what they do, man. And we tell you, you think we lying. They show it to you how that the devil the Bible speaks of on TV. Every day. They take more and more and more. If you give the devil an inch, he'll take 20 miles. Okay? And then when you want it back, he'll stab you in the back. Talk shit to you. Matthew chapter 10, verse 22. And ye shall be hated, Salaki, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. That's what we hoping for, man. Because if Yahushua don't come get us out of here, we are cooked. These devils gonna kill us, man. They gotta shut down this truth because we're exposing the wickedness of what they do, how they do it, why they do it, and show everybody in the world that it's biblical. They're not doing it of their own accord. They're doing it because the Most High God, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, makes them do it. Like it says in Proverbs chapter 21, verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, and as the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. Proverbs 20 and 24 says, a man's goings are of the Lord. How then can a man understand his own way? See? So the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, is directing the steps of these Edomite devils, like it says in Proverbs 16 and 9. Right? What does it say? Let's get it. Proverbs 16, verse 9. A man's heart devises this way, but the Lord directed his steps. See? So whatever the fuck these Edomite Caucasians are doing, the Most High wants them to do it in order to fulfill prophecy. See, evangelical Christianity don't like prophecy because they're not in it. The prophecy is concerning the Israelites of the 12 tribes. Okay? Judah, Benjamin, Levi are the Negroes, West Indians, and Haitians. Who are the vast majority of the people here that are dark skinned? Negroes, West Indians, and Haitians. As far as the West Indians, you know they like dreadlocks, right? Okay? You got all our kids walking around here with their pants hanging off, being disrespectful to their parents, to their family, talking shit to their mama, slapping her around, beating her up. All we try to do is we try to get our people out of the way. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 43. The king of Babylon hath heard a report of them, and his hands waxed feeble. Anguish took hold of them, and pangs as of a woman in travail. Right? Donald Trump is a nervous wreck. He's scared. He's off in the Middle East in a fight that he can't win. Okay? All of his generals are all telling him a lie. Like it says in Ecclesiasticus, the book of Sirach, chapter 10, verse 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. Is the government of the United States well ordered right now? No. They all sold out to the Israeli lobby. Right? Hell, they just sold the United States military to the Israelis. The Israelis control the military now. Okay? So once they push martial law under the War Powers Act, they're going to open up the national draft. They already said that they need you to be registered by October of this year, between the ages of 18 and 26, so they can draft your ass anytime they want to, no matter what you're doing, where you're at. So even if you're in college, they come into school to snatch your ass out of college. Okay? Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 2. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. Verse 3. An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. So this unwise king is Agent Orange, Nero 47. He's all about bread and circuits. Right? They just had the international soccer game here in America, right? That's bread and circuits. They were passing unrighteous laws and decrees while your back was turned. Ecclesiasticus, the book of Sirach, chapter 10, verse 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. That one that's profitable is Yahushua, whom the world ignorantly calls cheese and rice. Ecclesiasticus, let's get it. Hold on. Chapter 9, verse 11. Envy not the glory of a sinner, for thou knowest not what his end shall be. Delight not in the thing that the ungodly have pleasure in, but remember they shall not go unpunished unto their grave. See? Who are the ungodly? The same people that are going to kick your door in at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. The Israeli Defense Force just took over the U.S. military. They're going to take over state and local authorities and police forces. Right? These police are going to have to make a decision. They're going to have to make a decision. Are they going to be on America's side of America or Israel? That's where it's come to. It's going to come back down to civil war. That's going to cause civil unrest. The American people ain't going to deal with that shit. You got a motherfucking foreign nation telling us what to do already, and now they took over our military. We have no sovereignty. America is no longer a sovereign nation. What made us keep our sovereignty was the military. Well, a foreign nation now runs your military. So you're no longer sovereign. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 40. As Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell therein. Right? Which is called America, Babylon the Great, the land of Merathaim, of double rebellion, the land of bitterness, of darkness, where there is no light. Right? There is no light here. Light to these devils is Christianity. And under the Noahide laws, if you don't believe me, as a matter of fact, let me pull it up for you. Bear with me. Right? Donald Trump has not yet adopted or implemented the 7 Noahide laws, though some religious groups have symbolically called on him or other U.S. presidents to acknowledge them. So every time a U.S. president gets in office, you have those imposters, those Hasidic Jews, right, that be humping a wall, dressed in black with the little curlies on the side, dressed in with a black cap, humping a fucking wall, right? Those motherfuckers tell the president, you're going to have to sign into law, eventually, the Noahide laws. The Noahide laws are a set of universal moral commandments in its tradition meant for all humankind, which include prohibitions against idolatry. So Christianity is prohibited. Okay? That's idolatry. You're worshiping a false god. You're worshiping a dead white man with long flowing hair like a bitch, saying that he's the son of God. The people that implement the Noahide laws are atheists. They don't believe in God. They believe in Lucifer, the Illuminati. In other words, they believe in themselves as God on earth. This is their heaven. And when people get in the way of their heavenly glory, what do? They come in like a flood, like it says in Isaiah 59 verse 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against them. This standard is spiritual power. Another thing these Edomites fear, of Negroes and Latinos getting spiritual power from the Lord. Direct power source. Right? Will have the ability, chronokinesis, the ability to stop time, like you saw in Neo. They were shooting at him with them bullets. He stopped the bullets right there and they all fell down. That's chronokinesis. Okay. Mikey, let me give me a drink real quick. Get some water. They're going to have cryokinesis. Right? Be able to pull ice out of the air itself. It's a dude by the name of Moses Williams that created a machine that can pull water out of thin air. Clean water. Now, if 2/3 of the planet is made out of water, why the fuck do we gotta buy out of a bottle, out of a store? Come on, man. This is not your rest, like it says in Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Wow. Gotta get some more. Cryokinesis, hydrokinesis, right? Stan Lee created the X-Men based on the Negroes and Latinos and receiving spiritual power of the 144,000. Okay? He created the X-Men based on what was going on in the neighborhood with the blacks and Latinos. right? Let's go back to the Noahide laws. The Noahide laws are a set of universal moral commandments and is tradition meant for all humankind, which include prohibitions against idolatry, murder, and theft, alongside a mandate to set up courts of justice. Sanhedrin appeals. Early in his first term, an emerging group called the nascent Sanhedrin sent a letter congratulating Trump and encouraging him to support these universal laws, which led to online commentary and occasional misunderstandings, right? So during his first presidency, this nascent Sanhedrin convinced Donald Trump and his woman to convert to Judaism. That's the reason why these devils can just do whatever the fuck they want to do. And we try to tell you, but you don't get it unless somebody put it together for you. So the Most High sent forth his servants, the prophets, to put these things together, precept upon precept. Okay, we've actually sent the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and other righteous men that I learned from, okay, have sent the entire world upside down. Everybody went back to church to read their Bible, to try to disprove what we're saying. And they can't do it. Because once you know who all the characters are in the Holy Bible, right? Once you know who all the characters are, it's a lot easier for you to discern between who is righteous and who is wicked, right? Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 41. Behold, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the corners of the earth. Kind of sounds like BRICS nations, don't it? Right? Russia, it's going to come from the north country, right? Okay, like it says in Ezekiel, chapter 38, verse 1 through 7. He's going to become a guard and a protector to all the nations in the BRICS. And Iran is one of the main nations that he's protecting. Right now he's at war in Ukraine, okay, but he's sending intelligence reports to the Iranian government where all the U.S. bases are. They almost took out Bibi Makowski. Remember? That motherfucker was in his basement in his house. They sent a bomb straight to his house. Blew it up. They dug his ass out of the rubble. The person that we're looking at right now, is that a body double? Is the real Bibi Makowski dead? Don't know. Donald Trump's got a body double now. Because he's scared for the threats that Iran said they threatened his life and the lives of his wife and children. Right? So, he got a body double for everybody now. Have them go out in public and get their cap peeled. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 42. They shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel. they will not show mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon horses. Everyone put in array like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. Right? Now, it's not talking about ancient Babylon. It's talking about Babylon the Great, America. Now, when they signed the National Defense Authorization Act, they gave full autonomy and authority over the U.S. military and their technology. So, you got front cameras, you got street cameras on every corner. Let me show you. Look, they got a flock camera across the street. Look. See that on that post right there? Zoom in. Over there by Nails Quick Lube, see it? That light post right there? See that little black box? That's a camera. Look at the street camera. See the camera on the street camera? They're on all the four corners. See? Look at the street lamp. See that little node at the top up there? See them street lamps up there at the top, them nodes, that little black deal? Those are cameras and microphones. Okay? So now, the Israeli Defense Force, they can come in out of nowhere and just hack into that shit. Right? They can see people, zoom in on people, zoom in on your telephone, zoom in on your contact links. Okay, they know everything about you. They're gonna know everything. In the next 5 months, they're gonna hit the streets. That's what I'm talking about right here. Jeremiah chapter 50. Verse 42. They shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel. They will not show mercy. The Israeli Defense Force never show mercy. No, they shoot little kids in the head for fun. They take bets. Who can hit that little kid over there in the head? I'll give you 500 bucks. That's the wicked. That's how cruel they are, man. Verse 43. The king of Babylon hath heard the report of them. His hands waxed feeble. Anguish took hold of him, and pangs as of a woman in travail. They got a mural of Donald Trump laying in a goddamn casket over in Iran on the wall. Right? On another street corner, they got a mural of Donald Trump and all his family in a casket with the American flag draped over it, with a picture. Right? See? Fear done took hold of him as a woman in her pains and travail. Oh my God, they're gonna kill me. What do I do? Oh. Verse 44, behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan unto the habitation of the strong. But I will make them suddenly run away from her, and who is a chosen man, I may appoint over her. For who is like me, and who will appoint me the time, and who is that shepherd that will stand before me? Right? So the Most High Yahweh got it all planned out. Right? All to fulfill biblical prophecy, man. Isaiah chapter 19, verse 16. In that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it. So yep, these Edomites are scared, they're nervous, they're getting their guns ready and shined up. They think they're finna come into the black neighborhoods. But what they're finna do is they're finna fight against the Israeli Defense Force. We're gonna get an opportunity to see who's the better killer, right? Edomite versus Edomite, Egyptian versus Egyptian. Isaiah 19:2, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. Remember, America is modern day spiritual Sodom and Egypt. Everybody's got to go to work, so everybody's a slave, right? Wage slave. And spiritual Sodom, LGBTQ. They pass a law saying it's okay for a man to marry another man and adopt children. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. Right? Isaiah 19, verse 17. And the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself, because of the counsel of the Lord of hosts, which he hath determined against it. Okay? So the Most High's already got all of this planned out. It's over, man. I just read, okay, what these devils are planning on doing. The Most High put it in their mind to come up with that plan. Luke chapter 21, verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity. The sea and the waves thereof roar. Perplexity, let's get it. Perplexity. Perplexity is a what? Hold on, that's the wrong definition. Perplexity means a state of confusion, bewilderment, or a hard problem. It can also describe a technical score in computer science or an AI company. General meaning: confusion, a feeling of worry when you do not understand something. A tricky or tangled situation that is hard to fix. Right? Luke 21, verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity. The sea and the waves thereof roar. Verse 26. Men's heart failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which they are coming on the earth. For the powers of earth shall be shaken. Right? So these Edomite devils are scared, looking for body doubles, trying to go into these deep underground bunkers, underground cities, for fear of the hand of the Lord that he shaketh over Babylon the Great. They're scared to death, don't know what to do. How are they going to get out of this war they started? They can't. It was meant to be a perpetual war till the Son of God gets here. Okay? 21, verse 27. And then shall they see the sign of the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world that which he made. And that's the reason why you see this. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. This is a common theme across global protesting, right? Even though these protests differ politically, many share similar complaints. Wealth concentration, right? Everybody, all the Edomites are concentrating all the wealth in one spot and make everybody else poor. Technocracy, unelected experts, international institutions, artificial intelligence systems, corporate boards, bureaucrats, oligarchs that are gaining too much control over society. But they're not doing anything about it. See? Ecclesiasticus, the book of Sirach, chapter 43, verse 7. From the moon is the sign of feasts, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. The month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven. Didn't we just have a blue moon? Didn't we just have blood moons? We have all of these signs in the heavens to let you know that the end is near. The end of America, Babylon the Great, is almost here. And nobody believes it. They just see life going on. The rich getting richer, the poor getting poorer. People getting put out of their house, out of their apartments. They can't afford to live. And now with hyperinflation about to jump off, how are you going to pay? I'll pay for a loaf of bread. You see? The book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 43, verse 10. No, verse 9. The beauty of heaven, the glory of the stars, an ornament giving light in the highest places of the Lord. At the commandment of the Holy One of Israel, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, they will stand in their order and never faint their watches. Right? Look what happened in the war of I think it was an Ai, where Joshua prayed to the Lord and the sun stood still in the sky. That was chronokinesis, the ability to stop time or control time, or to manipulate it. You see, the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai controls time and space and everything within it, because he sits outside of it. To him, death does not apply. 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 38. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 labors, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth. And the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it upon every side. That's what's going to happen. When these devils take over the military and finalize everything in about 4 or 5 months, maybe sooner, you're going to start seeing military trucks roll up and down the street instead of police cars. Okay? Let me get some more water. Hold on. But anyway, yep, Donald Trump sending some more kids over the war. Anyway, it's getting a little too hot. Ain't nobody listening. Nobody gives a shit. So I'm gonna pack up all these signs and get on out of here, man. Okay? That's all I have to say for today. You know, try to tell people about the NDAA Act, they drive right on by. I have to get them to flip me off. It's crazy. That's our people for you. They don't give a damn about their own salvation. Don't care. Wow, that's amazing. Anyway, let me go and call them good. I did my best. Right? To the east, call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rahabakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for pushing 100% truth to rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect that have been scattered abroad throughout the 4 corners of the earth. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rahabakakadash, Haracha, Lamanya, Vachad, Wa Thala'ah. Remove far from me fear and doubt. In the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. Alright? So, with that, I'm going to go and get on out of here. Shalom. So our people, they ain't listening. Like it says in the book of Ezekiel. Look, see? See that? Our people they just go, man. They don't give a shit. Yep, they really don't, man. It's crazy. Okay. I was gonna give me one more one. Let's get one more, and then I'm gonna close out. Go to Ezekiel. Hold on. Right? Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 30. Also, thou son of man, the children of thy people still are talking against thee, by the walls and by the doors and houses, and speak one to another, everyone to his brother, saying, Come, I pray you, and hear what is the word that cometh forth from the Lord. Verse 31. And they come unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them. You just saw dude threw up the Baal fist, all that shit, all that shalom, walked past here, didn't inquire about the Lord, ask questions or nothing. What can I do to help him? For with their mouth they show much love, but their heart goeth after their covetousness. And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that hath a pleasant voice, and can play well on an instrument. For they hear thy words, but they do them not. And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. So in other words, when all the words that I've been preaching about today come to pass out here on these street corners and the streets, all these things come to pass, they're going to be looking for an individual like myself to tell them what they need to do in order to avoid punishment by the Lord. It's going to be too late. Right? Because the Most High said in the last days in the book of Joel 28, 2 and 28, that he will pour out his spirit upon all flesh. Old men shall dream dreams. Young women and young men shall prophesy and see visions. You see that on TikTok all the time. And upon his servants and upon his handmaids, he will also pour out his spirit. And he also said, along with that, his servants shall eat. As a matter of fact, let's read it. Getting too hot now. My stuff ain't working. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, Psalms. Psalms chapter 37, verse 18. The Lord knoweth the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord shall be as the fat of lambs. They shall consume into smoke. They shall consume away. Isaiah 65, verse 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. And ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen, for the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai shall slay thee, and call his servants by another name. Right? Because, like it says in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, we shall be changed from corruption to incorruption, and from mortal to immortality. Right? We should be changed into another meaning of what it means to be a human being. Right? We're going to have spiritual power. Right? I got a couple of videos I got to re-upload Menachis Akban Yamyan he had put out. So I'm going to re-upload them on my channel too. You know, one made me cry with all that spiritual power, man. all big and muscular, taking tanks and smashing them and shit. You know, I pray in the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahushua remove from me fear and doubt. So it's this way I can get them spiritual powers, man. That way I can defend my family. Somebody got to do it. They ain't got the heart or the brains enough to do it themselves by covering themselves with the blood of Yahushua. They want to continue to smoke weed and get drunk or whatever stupid shit they do. I ain't perfect, but goddamn. At least I read my Bible every day and repent on a daily basis. I have to. Because of the imperfections of our flesh. But anyway, let me get on out of here, man. I just hope in that day